welcome all the participants to spend your precious moment, your precious time with me today to this webinar. And I hope this will be the great insight for you and how to see how the Rainmakers actually change the landscape of investing in terms of property industry. All right, so let me start with a few market problems. So before that, as we all know that the current real estate industry is actually facing a hard time right now. And it's actually a lot of property investors actually facing a lot of obstacles that are actually hindering them from investing into real estate, and mainly due to a few major market problems. First of all, it would be all because of high entry barrier. So a lot of Malaysians actually save up months or even years of the savings just to save enough to pay for the down payment. And this will be one of the very basic hurdles, and they will have to overcome these hurdles if they want to build a good, healthy, real estate portfolio. Secondly, it will be due to illiquidity. So if the investors lock themselves into wrong properties or even a wrong locations property, very likely they'll be stuck. Thirdly, will be stringent banking requirement. So if a bank or a financial institution comes to you and say, sorry, your loan is rejected, so very likely your dream to own the property will be vanished. And this is one of the very cruel facts that a property investor will have to understand. And lastly, would be tedious acquisition process. Anyone here, if actually invested into real estate, I'm sure you've gone through this process before, because as an investors, I've gone through this as well. So as an investors, you will need to browse through Property Guru, iProperty to search for potential investors or potential property to invest in. So thereafter, you need to speak to the agents, make the booking fees, sign up the loan applications, and even signing up all the legal documents. If all goes well, thanks, congratulations, you'll be actually getting the key, and next step will be renovating your units and going back to the agent to source for the tenant. So all these problems can be easily resolved with our solution here, because the Rainmakers, a fractional real estate investment platform that actually adapts simplicity, accessibility, speed, and security. All right. So in terms of simplicity, we ensure that the investors do not have to go for a bank loan or actually foregoing their lifestyle by paying a monthly bank installment, neither exposing them on the interest fluctuations. All right. We ensure the Rainmakers actually make it accessible for everyone, just like Asia, everybody can fly. Everybody will be able to invest in real estate from as low as 500 ringgit. Our commitment here to remove the tedious acquisition will be the speed, where we make sure that the investors will be able to invest and complete the entire checkout process within a few clicks and within a few minutes. All right. So lastly will be security. This is actually our main priority here, because we ensure that we ring-fence two major elements, where the first part is a trustee protection. We are currently collaborating with UBB Amanah to collect all the funds on behalf of the company, as well as ensuring all the properties are legally owned by the investors. Okay, so a little bit of sneak peek of our dashboard here. So you'll be thinking about how do we actually able to check through what investors and what's so on and so forth. So this is a sneak peek where the investors will be able to log into our dashboard. The dashboard will be actually stated down how much the property, how much have this investor invested in, and also browsing through their portfolio on what have they invested, and also checking through the rentals that they collected. Okay, and going through a marketplace will be enable them to actually just like an online Shopee and Lazada, where they'll be able to shop through whether what they wanted to invest in and understand the product and the property to invest in. If they're interested in this, they will be able to read through all the data that we provided, as well as going through a detailed perspective for them to have a very better understanding on the property before they commit to invest into it. So assuming that an investor is giving a green light to say go ahead, they will just need to click on the Invest Now button here, when they will be able to check out the entire checkout process, just like how you check out in Lazada and Shopee. It's very simple. So in a way, we're trying to turn this experience where you do it in e-commerce into a property line right now. So I've done the market validations. In terms of market validations, fractional firms is very new in Malaysia, but in the West it's going wild, just like how Uber started and Grab comes in later. So Arrive, which is the fractional firms in Dubai, Arrive, which is fractional firm in US, they registered 486,000 users and completed 121 million worth of property since they actually started. and Get Stick, which is the fractional firm in Dubai, they registered 386,000 users and completed 230 million worth of dirham properties in Dubai. Okay, and in Malaysia, we done the market sizing and we realized that it's actually a very big market in Malaysia because there's 4.1 million Malaysians that constantly and actively talking about investment online. And this is our responsibility and role to convert this group of people to comes back to be the users and investors of the Rainmakers. So our business model works pretty straightforward and direct. We apply a 5% fees on every investment made, 2% on every investment withdrawal, and subsequently 3% fees on each property rental income received. We will have about 205,000 users by tapping in 5% of the available market that I shared just now. And the Rainmaker will charge 25 ringgit on every 500 ringgit investment made by the investors, which equate to about 11.3 million revenue by 2026. We've done a lot of market adoption, which is go-to-market, where in terms of social media advertising, affiliate programs, where we allow our existing users to share word of mouth to their friends and family, and also to make them some earnings by referring, and conducting live events and also webinars just like this one. Okay, let me share with you a bit of what I have experienced from this social media advertising. Through this, we actually thumbing through ads and so Facebook and stuff, social media, and I actually got to meet Mr. Muru, which is a taxi driver from Sungai Petani. And through these conversations and verifying all his queries, he basically drove down from Sungai Petani to KL, and I met him personally. To cut it short, he landed his investment in the Rainmakers. But the quote that he left me will be, glad to actually have the Rainmakers. Because of Rainmakers, he's basically 50 years old, landed his first property investment in Kuala Lumpur. Basically, his quote kept me going because I realized that this is the gap in the market where I wouldn't be able to invest in overseas or even in out of stations property because out of reach as well as out of visibility. So this was one of the best quotes that I have and kept me going. On the future channels, we intend to strengthen our partnerships as well as collaborating with relevant influencers to boost our brand credibility and attending third-party events. And I just came back from China last week because I'm joining the Reda Institute event, which is by all the developers and stuff, to understand how China market perform and also to transform their real estate industry as of now. It's really eye-opening, and this is how we do in terms of expanding our coverage. So in terms of competitions here, these competition metrics, the Rainmakers actually outplay two major market elements, which is first of all, traditional real estate acquisition, where they're focusing more on the offline basis as well as high entry barrier. Okay, on REITs will be, though they're online, but they do not provide ownership to the investors, which leads to the Rainmakers to be the pioneer in the local market and be the first fully digitized fractional real estate platform that enable non-tech savvy investors to invest into real estate and enjoy complete ownership with low entry barrier. So this will be all our advantages that we could actually bring on to the market and let the public to enjoy these services. A bit of milestones on where have we been so far. We actually raised this project in Resort Suites Bandar Sunway. If you guys, anyone here familiar with Bandar Sunway, this is actually the only service apartment that connected to the mall. All right, we raised 628,000 from the default investors, and this proved that the fractionals idea really works out. And subsequently, we launched a second project in a different unit in the same service apartment. We raised 628,000 from 41 investors. The best part that we can see here is that the return investors of 26.8% that allows them to reinvest at a low entry barrier. A bit of tractions. This will be all from our existing investors where they give us a good feedback, and we are also featured in the iProperty. Our roadmap for the next 3 years will be pretty straightforward, pretty simple, where we are here to grow our user base as well as have a number of group of investors. So in 2024, we are targeting 10,000 users. In 2025, we are targeting 50,000 users. And 2026, we are targeting 200,000 users. This is me, Kelv Gan, and my partners, Joe, which is in the call as well. So let me share, I'm actually in the corporate career for the last 10 years before I actually started the entire fractional firm. Let me share you why I started this, because during my last 10 years, I think as part of the Chinese gene, parents always taught me that I should be investing into real estate once I actually graduated, once I actually start working. And I've been actively investing over my last 10 years span of a career life. I actually accumulated 5 of these. On the road to the 6th, I actually hit a road bump, which is the bank, just like I said, the bank came to me and say, sorry, I have to reject the loan because due to your high debt service ratio on your all 5 properties, and they can't take all my rental in as full income, so they'll turn down my loan. And I realized that there's actually nothing much I can do, because if the bank rejected, which means that I can't invest more in property. And I've been actively doing research, and this is one of the reasons why it leads me to set up the entire Rainmakers. So, yep, this is my purpose of it. So we are here today to aim to raise 1.2 million ringgit at the pre-money valuation of 6 million. All right, we are raising minimum 700,000 and a maximum of 1.2 million ringgit. Okay, every shares will worth 40 cents. Per lot will be 6,250 shares, and minimum investment required will be 1 lot, which is 2,500 ringgit. So we will be issuing a minimum 10.45% equity ordinary shares offering and a maximum of 16.67% based on 1.2 million raised. And let me share with you a quick one here. Would be anyone here will be actually investing 2 lots in the ECF, which is LEET Capital, which is amount to 5,000 ringgit. You will be actually unlocked 5% property bonus shares to invest in the property in the Rainmaker platform. At the moment, our property selections will be Oak Street in Mont Kiara, Kiara 163, which is a very highly demographic in terms of foreigners, Korean and Japanese. So second options will be anyone here who invests 8 lots in ECF, which is 20,000 ringgit. You will unlock a 10% property bonus shares when you invest into it. And those who invest in package C, which is 20 lots equivalent to 50,000 ringgit, you will unlock 15% bonus shares if you invest into a property. On top of that, you will also receive 5% free shares based on your 50,000. All right. And the last one will be 40 lots in ECF, which is 100,000 ringgit. So if they will be actually unlocking 20% bonus shares. If you invest 100,000 in ECF and another 100,000 in the Oak Street, you'll be unlocking 20%, which is 20,000 additional bonus shares, and receive additional 10% free shares, which is 10,000 ringgit on your 100,000 ECF investment. So I hope I make it clear. If it's not, I'm actually open for Q&A session after this. So basically, fractional firms is very new in Malaysia, and when we talk to people don't just understand what's the concept like, and we actually work very hard so far to bring this on the table, and I hope to see you all to be part of the early stage investor in the real estate in the fractional firms and bring this to the next level. Thank you.